Hey everyone, this is Mike. I'm here in Tokyo now. I'm here for the Ship for World Use, which is the Japanese Prime Minister's Cabinet Office program. This has been running for this is the 30th year, and they call Ship for World Use SWY, so SWY. This is SWY 30. I was also on SWY 28 2 years ago as an advisor, and I had taught um, classes on intercultural communication. This year, I'm coming back as a facilitator. There's 7 facilitators, and it's really a diverse group. I'm really happy and excited that the group. I think it's the most. I'm sure it's the most diverse group of facilitators that the SWY, the Ship for World Youth Program, has ever had. We have, besides me, we have Sam from the Philippines, Grace from Indonesia, Carlos from Peru, Paul from Canada, Yoriko and Yukiko from Japan, and myself. So it's a really, even gender wise, it's about half, half, half. In every aspect, Satoshi Nakazawa, who is the head of the Ship for World Youth Program for the International Youth Organization, he specifically chose to create this atmosphere and to create it's really an amazing group this year, and I'm excited really and looking forward to it. Although I'm the old man of the group, I hope that I can keep up with the younger folks. But I'm just happy that with the diversity, people from different countries, just different ways of thinking, it should be really, really good for the entire program, and especially for the Japanese participants. There are 240 participants on this SWY program. 120 are from Japan. They are, they apply and then they are selected. Another 120 are from overseas. They call them overseas participants, or OPYs. They come from 10 countries, so there's 12 per country. So this year, for example, Greece, there's Turkey, there's Chile, there's, I think, Australia. So, and there's 12 countries, 10 countries that send 12 participants in each group, and you have 240 together on the ship. Now people are talking like, oh, what is that? Is that the peace boat? Or it's not the peace boat. It is a government run program that has been running for 30 years, and 240 young people between the ages of 18 to 30 live on the ship, the Nippon Maru, for a month together. And the way this works is, let's see, this weekend, only the Japanese participants, or they call them JPYs, will come to NYC. It's called, it's the old Tokyo Olympic Center. And they would have like, what do you call, like orientation, almost like a kind of intensive program for, I think it's about 5 days. So these 120 Japanese have their own orientation first, and most of it is in Japanese. We do run the course discussion. We have maybe 3 slots that we try to run it in English, of course, but for most part it's more about the content, safety, what the ship is about, and that's done in Japanese. Meanwhile, in the other 10 countries, there's a national leader for each country, and then they get together and they meet, because they also will be doing, like national lead, their own country's presentations, as well as they meet to get a better understanding of the program. They are also selected. They're usually very elite young people between the ages of 18 through 30. So imagine, and they will be coming to Japan in mid-January. And so the overseas participants usually do a homestay in different more local areas, sometimes in the city. I think this year there's one in Osaka, but the rest are like Miyagi or Mie Prefecture. They're more outside of the cities. They do a homestay. I think it's either 2 or 3 nights. And when they're done, they come to the NYC, the old Olympic Center. I think it's called the National Youth Center, NYC, but it used to be, the 1964, it was the Olympic Center for like the dormitories, and that's where it was based. So what happens is that they come back from their homestay experience, and that's when the Japanese the other 120 Japanese come, and that's when we have for about 10 days we have orientation together, where we try to do a lot of team building, and we try to create a feeling of community. And then at the I think it's the last day of January, or the February 1st maybe, we leave. And when that happens is that there's 25 administrators, including 7 facilitators, and there's 120 Japanese, 120 overseas participants on a ship. And it sails to different countries depending on the year. This year they're going to, let's see, the main is Okinawa. They're going to Solomon Islands and Palau. Those are for refueling. But Okinawa and Australia, and then they come back. And all the way while the ship is sailing, they work on there's different courses. There's course discussion that the facilitators run. They're doing their own presentations from their country. They're interacting. There's different courses, discussion groups, projects, activities. So imagine, on this ship you have 240 young people, learning, living together. There's usually 2 Japanese participants and 1 overseas participants who live together. So you're living with somebody. The program is supposed to be all in English, but of course, with so many Japanese, and sometimes the English level is not as high as it would make it as high as it could be. Sometimes there's, of course, Japanese spoken too, but the ideal is that it would be a English-based program, and every day it's like an intensive English short-term program for 1 month on the ship. And there's no internet, and I think on the ship there's no internet. So in a really interesting way, it forces the young people to connect person to person. And that is big because these days everyone is doing text, or looking down instead of looking up, and mutual eye contact and talking to people and living with people. So at the beginning, some of the participants kind of go through little withdrawals, like they miss their phone. It's like part of them, so that's also a great experience. But they get used to after about a week, and they also find out the beauty and the challenge and the excitement of actually communicating directly with people from other cultures and countries. So this year, SWY, Ship for World Youth 30, is, I think, going to be a great voyage, and I'm excited. And I'm really happy to see the diversity of the facilitators, which will add so much. And we have a great, the Japanese Prime Minister Cabinet Office staff and head, Mr. Komagata and Mr. Sato and their staff are really very flexible and very international, and very, they seem very easy to work with. I've only had 1 day of training with the group so far, but that's my initial feeling. And I think that this is going to be a great year. So this is going to be a great Ship for World Youth 30, SWY 30. Bon voyage. Actually, bon voyage for us in January.